corks and screw caps. So why do we need a wine preservation system? There are several reasons why it's a good idea to use a wine preservation system. Obviously, if you and another person drink the whole bottle, then it's a moot point. On the other hand, perhaps you live alone and you want to just have a glass of wine with dinner every night. Maybe your partner doesn't drink, but you do. Or perhaps you have learned food and wine pairing skills and would like to have a small amount of a few different wines with dinner. A potential situation might be that tonight you are having an Asian spring roll with spicy Vietnamese salad, but tomorrow you might be having a pork roast. If you're developing or want to develop your food and wine pairing skills, you know that both dinners are best with completely different wines. In any case, you don't want the whole bottle of wine to spoil. A red wine should be consumed within a day or two before it begins to deteriorate and lose flavor. If it's a fine wine, that's costly and well-aged, it should be consumed the same day as opening. A white wine can last a little bit longer, say 4 to 5 days before losing flavor. And it's so disappointing to reach for that bottle of wine that you loved the other night to discover that it doesn't quite taste the same. What a letdown. Whether you've paid $25, $250, $2,500, pouring money down the drain is like throwing out your special bottle of wine. The only other option would be to drink your bad wine anyway and kick yourself in the buttocks for waiting too long. Don't despair. There is help. There are several easy available options for any wine in any budget. The most common reason an opened bottle of wine loses flavor or goes bad is because the wine has been exposed too long to oxygen and deteriorates and begins to oxidize. Naturally, when you open a bottle, a little oxygen gets inside, and if you drink some of the wine, there's going to be even more room for more oxygen. So we need to extract the oxygen again to protect the flavor and structure. Oxidation is noticed when the wine becomes nutty in flavor and aroma. This happens to both red and white wines. A red wine changes color from a nice ruby red toward a brick color, while a white wine might change and become more orangey gold. Oxidation doesn't have to be drastic before it ruins your wine. Only a little bit will ruin your wine and turn it into something that resembles both sherry in color, flavor, and aroma. So, let me show you what a bottle of oxidized wine looks like. Look what we have here. Look at that brown color. You can see it against my white shirt. White wine shouldn't necessarily look like this. This bottle of wine smells, looks, and tastes like sherry, but it's not. So what should you do about this problem? If you're drinking a very inexpensive bottle, say under $12 to $15, I suggest going with the simple wine pump system. You need this rubber cork that removes most of the air out of the bottle. This doesn't remove all the oxygen, but definitely helps. But if you plan on opening the same bottle 5 to 6 times, it's probably not going to help much more after your second or third glass. But this is a good option if you drink half a bottle tonight and then the rest of the bottle a few days from now. Wine pumps and stoppers together cost around $25, either online or at your favorite liquor store. Let me show you how it works. You put the cork in here, you put the pump on top, and you pump this, and then lo and behold, your wine is more or less sealed. Watch. Okay? If you want to take this a step further toward removing the oxygen from your bottle, you can purchase this can of Argon. Argon is a clear, colorless gas that is used by wineries in preserving all their wine in tanks. It's a natural element, not the slightest bit unhealthy, nor does it change the color or aroma or the flavor of wine. It simply preserves what is already there. Now, argon is heavier than air, So if you spray this can into your bottle before inserting this rubber cork here, it keeps a heavy protective blanket over your wine, preventing oxygen from reaching the remaining wine in the bottle. Then just be sure you can use your wine pump to take out any excess oxygen. This can is the only Argon that I have found available on the market. It's called Private Reserve Wine Preserver. It costs only about $11 per can. Now, don't be alarmed if you can seems kind of empty. It's supposed to feel totally empty. I've caught a few people in my store shaking their cans like this, hoping to hear something. But just press the top button like this and you'll hear a hissing sound. Okay? If that sound is present, then your can is not empty. So let me show you how this works. The way this works is you spray this Argon in your bottle like this. Then you insert the pump, the rubber stopper, and then you pump again. Great job. Lastly, the most sophisticated item is a Coravin. I highly recommend using this small piece of equipment if you are drinking fine wine, especially if it is well-aged wine, as well-aged wine is more fragile and loses flavor more quickly. Here it is, the Coravin. Basically, you have a cartridge right here that is inserted into the back of the unit here. There is a needle which gets inserted into the top part of the cork, like this. You have to press down carefully. There is a little lever here at the top of the Coravin, and this is what you press when you pour out the wine. You tilt your bottle completely over and you press very gently, and out comes the wine. Perfect. Using this method, there is no oxygen whatsoever entering the bottle. After using any of these systems, I suggest stand the wine up in the fridge. Laying the bottle down can actually displace the Argon. This is a system, the Argon system, that wine professionals all over the world are using. It prevents wine from spoiling in wineries, in restaurants, and it's an absolutely indispensable device. While red wine isn't normally refrigerated, wine professionals have noticed that this wine is better preserved if you keep them upright in the refrigerator, like I said. Just pour a little when you're ready to drink some more and let it sit for a while so it comes up to room temperature. If you're using a Coravin, you should open the bottle with a corkscrew when there's about 1/3 of the bottle remaining. Again, common opinion of the wine pros is that after about consuming 2/3 of the bottle, the Coravin doesn't preserve as well. This method is more expensive and makes only sense to use for more expensive wines because these cartridges need to be replaced as you use the Argon. The Coravin can be purchased online at Coravin.com and runs about $250 to $350 depending on which model you purchase. The cartridges here, they cost between $5 and $9 each depending on the quantity purchased. The Coravin is absolutely the best way to prevent wine spoilage, but other methods are helpful when you want to drink the wine before it goes south on you. While this might seem like a lot of money, it's a small price to pay rather than pouring your unused wine down the drain. Personally, I use all three systems depending on what kind of wine I'm drinking and the occasion. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button below to get weekly notifications, and you can also find us on Facebook and